Hey guys, welcome back. Today is just going to be a little sit in the car with me and chat video. I do have higher hopes for some prettier days to make some better videos, but today this is what you get. This is a kind of update, talk about thing video. We've been dealing with a lot lately, most of it, you guys can pretty much guess. You can see all the reflection in my glasses of like the thing I have holding my phone, the steering wheel, even my shirt. Anyways, so the weather here has been pretty dreadful. It's been raining heavily. A few days ago there was like some hail that hit really hard. So filming videos hasn't really been easy because I like to give you guys like at least good views. Even if I'm talking, I like to have good views in the background, and that's just not been the case past few days. So here we are. We did finally get results for Braden's genetic testing, and it was negative / inconclusive. Mine was also negative, but some of his came back inconclusive, and they're wanting to do next steps with him to do through a genetic manager, going to, I don't even know really what it's called, but like genetic testing, but like there's facilities for this, like the one that they have referred us to and have set me up with, like contact information, is like from Harvard. There's different places across, like literally from, one side of the United States to the other side of the United States. There's places scattered out. So it's research, it's facilities. It's not doctors or anything like that. It's like they help you find and search through stuff with like fine-tooth combs and help you hopefully find answers, or they research on it, document it, and then hopefully somebody's down the road, they connect things. So we want answers. We want to know what it is. But at the same time, we're like, do we want to do this? Or do we just kind of leave it be and just test what pops up? So me and my husband are discussing that. It's like, you want to know, you want an answer because you don't want to be surprised anymore. You just want to be like, okay, this is what he has, and these things haven't happened to him yet. So this is stuff that we could see. And then if something happens that could possibly be that, you could just be like, okay, well, this is similar to this symptom, so let's check it and see if like something's wrong with that. On the other hand, we are looking into it because I'm not really sure what that entails, what kind of testing that does. Like, do we go one time, mouth swab, blood work, yada yada? I don't want to put him through like a whole extensive thing and then still not have any answers. I don't want to hand over all of his information and not really know what we're dealing with. So we're going back to Charlotte to discuss kind of what this is, what they know about it, research wise. I couldn't find, I found their website. They sent me their website and I could read about it and stuff. It's just not like as extremely informative as you'd think it would be. I couldn't find like YouTube videos and stuff like that on it. Since it's, I don't want to say sponsored by Harvard, but since it's like a Harvard program, you would assume it's probably pretty good. I've read a lot of things. I've actually did find a Facebook group for it where they have found answers for some people, and some people obviously haven't. It is for rare diseases. They have confirmed Braden has a rare disease. I guess you can't technically confirm that if you don't know what the disease is, but just kind of put everything together that obviously it would be a rare disease that they either don't know or it's super uncommon to test for. So we have to have testing done for that if that's something that we choose to do. If we choose to go down that path, where does it lead? What happens? What's the process, Is that something insurance covers? Is that something that's free? Is that something that's like terribly expensive? Like what's the thing? What's about it? So we had to figure that out. My own health, I don't talk about it a whole lot, but I am being tested for autoimmune disease, and my doctor does believe that I have lupus. It's something that we've kind of thought for a while, but we've put off testing for, primarily just me doing that. to see, you know, like we tried a few different things to kind of see if I felt better and stuff, but I pretty much checked most of the boxes, if not all the boxes, for lupus. So I am aware that it's nothing to be like terribly scared of, that like it can be handled. So I go in a few days for the testing for that. So hopefully they find something. My sugar has been kind of just off the wall. Like the stress and stuff has not helped, but it's doing some funky stuff and it's usually pretty manageable. And right now it's being extremely difficult. So we've had to make medication changes and stuff. And unfortunately, between the pharmacy and the doctor, somewhere they didn't write down, I guess, how much insulin I'm supposed to take, because we started a new insulin, and well, actually insulin in general I haven't had before. So the pharmacy says that each doctor does it differently, how they prescribe per patient. So I'm having to wait on my doctor to kind of contact me back to be like, hey, this is how I want you to take it. So there's a lot going on. You know, just everything. I've took a long time off of worrying about my health, so now I'm trying to prioritize it amongst everything, not above anything, but amongst it, because I don't want to be in a bad situation. And I think that's hard for parents to kind of be like, okay, well, there's a little time, and I need to make sure that I'm okay too, because like, how can your children be okay if you're not okay? And that's really hard for me, and that's really hard, I think, for most parents to be like, okay, it's time to focus on me. I've had bad knees my entire life, and I've been told it's been a whole lot of different things. My knees kind of point out and they crack like crackers, you know, when you're crumbling crackers to put in your soup or your chili or whatever. They sound rough. They hurt, they cramp, they get hot. They've done that my entire life. I was told it was arthritis, was told it wasn't arthritis, was told it was arthritis again. So I went to an orthopedic doctor, had them checked and looked at. I couldn't tell you the medical terms for it, but basically my muscle from my knee to my hips is pulling, and it's literally pulling my kneecaps to the side. I don't want to say off, but like that's literally like, I guess, what's happening over time. It's like it's literally pulling them so hard. I was sent home with like these giant rubber band thingies, and I'm supposed to like work it. And the doctor told me that if that didn't help, that double knee surgery is what they wanted to do, and it hasn't helped. But double knee surgery is not something that I can do right now. It's not something I'm even sure I want to do. And the reason being, even that doctor said that the surgery is not like, it's less than 50-50 on success rate. It could make it much worse. It could be the same. It could be better. And I just can't, I can't be down. Even if it was to make my knees much better, I can't be down right now. Could you imagine like double knee surgery, how horribly painful and difficult that would be in mobility wise and everything? So I just haven't went anywhere further with that for myself. So anyways, there's just a lot going on, you know, a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and we're still moving forward with some other things. So that's kind of what we're dealing with personally, on a personal level. I know a lot of people is going through it right now. I feel like it's just kind of an overall battle right now. With a lot of people. I don't think it's just me or anything. I just feel like it's been hard. Here lately, it just kind of feels like you can't get up without being knocked back down. It's rough, all the medical stuff, and so that's kind of, we've got a total of 17 things coming up for Braden. 17. That's on the books. That's not things that need to be scheduled. That's not everything else. And it's not all at once. It is spread out a little bit. There is 1 month coming up that is pretty much continuous the whole month. And the goal for trying, because it's almost nearly impossible to get everything done in a set amount of time, because there's always somebody who can't or whatever. But the purpose of trying to get so much done at one time is, yes, it's a lot at once, but if we can get it done and knock it out, then maybe that's less travel for us. Maybe that'll give us some free time, some off time. I've been looking at trying to do part-time work or something. It's just really hard when you know that you may have to leave, and then employers understandably don't want that. They don't want somebody who may have to leave. That's not really fair to them. But I'm trying to supplement our income. My videos aren't really, doing super well. They were for a while, which I was super excited about, and thinking, oh wow, we've done it, and we're gonna finally start just getting out there more. So if you've made it this far in the video, please share, like, subscribe, follow all of our socials, share all of our links. We're trying really hard. Braden's insurance, it's literally the biggest cluster of anything I've ever seen. And it's not just us, it's a lot of people. In fact, a lot of people that we meet that have the same insurance or other insurances, with sick children. It might even happen to sick adults. I can't speak necessarily. Like, I've seen with my own and with some other people, I've seen them not cover things that you would think they would cover. But as far as like with sick children, we meet other families and stuff, and there's people who's paying out of pocket for chemo. Because insurance stopped paying for it, never paid for it. They're waiting to see if their insurance will pay for it. There's people who is literally like paying for their G-tube fed child's formula, because their insurance up and cut it one day. Insurance is wanting to look into different stuff, so they cut it temporarily. It's crazy, the stories that you hear. It's crazy, the things that people go through just trying to take care of themselves or their children or their loved ones. And it's crazy what insurance does not take care of. I have a lot of people who reach out to me in my family personally, other people that I meet, other people on the internet that find it super hard to believe that insurance doesn't cover a lot of stuff, but it doesn't. Now, that being said, I have 3 children, okay? So my other 2 children, I hardly ever have an issue. Some bumps happen, right? But that's just kind of normal. Some bumps happen, but usually like their primary visits are covered. If they have to go to the doctor for something, if they have to have shots, if they have to have, sick visits, eye doctor appointments. My daughter goes frequently. She goes every 3 months to the ENT because she's had tubes placed twice. She has some ear problems, so she has to go a lot and have that tested and looked at and stuff. I hardly ever have any issues. There's a copay, but nothing crazy or unexpected. Braden was like that for a long time, and then they stopped covering a lot of stuff. They started giving me hefty copays. They started giving me ultimatums, basically like, hey, we'll cover this much, but the rest is your responsibility. This happens to a lot of people when themselves or their children or whatever, when they're seen frequently, it's like the insurance catches on, and it's either the repetitive things they don't want to cover, because insurance has questions, okay? It's like they don't look at the whole picture. It's like they don't look at the file before they call you, because I get letters that don't make sense. They're like, well, what happened? Why does he need this? What happened? What do you mean what happened? He's been doing this for years, the same exact thing. So it's like they don't look into it, but they're realizing that it's repetitive, or it's like it throws them off one day when they actually do read a piece of the file and they're like, what is this? He's 10. Why does he need? So when you have like somebody that's super sick and needs to go multiple times, I honestly just think that they don't think they're making money off of it. They think they're losing money, I guess. I don't really know how any of that works. I just know that it's super difficult, and I am not the only one. And please believe it when somebody tells you that, because it's not a joke. Insurance really can be a blessing, or, I am blessed for what they do cover. However, sometimes we don't find out what they don't cover until pretty much time for appointment, because it's not ran until like a week, a few days, the day before, the day of the appointment, procedure, or whatever. So sometimes you're just like literally gave this bill, okay, or this copay, or this satisfactory payment that needs to be made, and it's right there. Here you go. And you had no idea it was coming. And sometimes you've got it, and sometimes you don't, and sometimes you've got to scramble, and sometimes it takes everything you have, but like, what do you do? So that's another thing. But So I think what I was saying is that his insurance paid for like the general testing, but it won't test for phase 2. Like it won't go deeper into it than that. So that's what we're having to look at now. It's, do we do phase 2 testing? Do we do the, I don't want to say experimental, but like the research, into the rare disease? Do we, like, what paths do we take? And the back and forth is crazy and it's wild and it's like boom, 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 boom. We're just on this ride. It's Braden's world and we're just living in it. I was successfully able to, I don't want to say it quite that cheerfully because it didn't happen the way that I wanted it to, but I'm happy that it's over and done with now. But all 3 of my children are homeschooled now. And we're doing great. You know, we went to the library today and we done a little scavenger hunt and we got some books and we learned and we did the ABC Mouse there. We done math and it's so nice because they're all on different levels and they can really help each other out. And I'm hoping that I mean, it's not going to go this smooth every time because like if you guys have children or siblings, then you know how things can go from super friendly to super unfriendly really fast. So I know some days are going to be rougher than others, but you know, we're out here and we're making it. But this video is just kind of like a really jumbled up catch up. So if you've managed to make it this far, I don't know how many people actually watched the whole entire video, but if you did, please like, subscribe, comment, interact with my videos somehow, please, and join us for the next one.